I'm Anil Kumar and I'll introduce you to 3D shapes and we'll talk about volume and surface area in this particular video. So talking about 3D, let me take up some blocks, and here I have a cubic structure with you. So that is my square block, right? So imagine that all sides of this cubic block is are square, right? So think like that. It doesn't look like, but imagine that each length, width and height here is of 1 unit length. So if it is 1 unit length, then we say it becomes a cube, right? So that is a cube for us. At times we may draw it like this. We may draw like this, make a square, and then you make another square, for example. So let me draw like this, make another square. I'm doing it purposely dotted one, and then join the corners, right? So join the corners, correct, like this, and back side over dotted ones, and those in the front solid. So at times I'll also draw a square to represent what I've shown you here, a cubic block. Okay, so that is how we are going to draw it at times, but in this video I'm trying to show you what this is. So this is 1, 1 and 1, and we don't know centimeters, meters or whatever, so we'll write just 1 unit, right? So each dimension is 1 unit, correct? 1 unit. So that is what we mean, and we will talk about in 3 dimensions 2 particular things. One for us is volume, right? So one is volume. So what is volume? Volume will be length times width times height. So for this cubic block as shown here, it is 1 unit by 1 unit by 1 unit. So it is 1 times 1 times 1. That will give you 1, right? But the units will be unit cube, right? So that is the difference. So volume of such a block is 1 unit cube. The other thing which we're talking about is surface area, right? Surface area. Now what is that? So surface area means, you see this block, it has 6 surfaces. One at the top, one at the bottom, one on the left side, so the other one on the right side. So right side and left side, and front and back. So there are, we see 6 surfaces. Do you see that? 6 surfaces. And all these 6 surfaces are square. So they are square, correct? 6 square surfaces. And what is area of each? Length times width. So it is 1 times 1 is the area. So it is 1 unit square, right? So we are not writing centimeter, meter, square or something like that. Any unit, correct? So this is our general blocks. So in these set of videos, we will not show you the blocks, but we'll draw like this. And you can correlate, right? So now I figure out. So we have 1 block. So volume of 1 block is 1 unit cube. And what is the surface area? Each square has 1 unit. So 6 will have 6 times 1 unit square. And that means 6 unit square. So the surface area is 6 unit square. Volume is 1 unit cube, right? So that is how volume and surface area are connected. Now here is a question for you. If I have 1 more block, let us say if I keep 1 block on the side. Now we have 2 blocks. Now the question is, if I have 2 blocks, then the question for you is, we have 2 blocks, right? 2 blocks side by side, as shown, correct? Side by side. Find its volume. What is its volume and what is its surface area? So sometimes I'll write surface area as SA, correct? So surface area. Can you tell me? Volume of 1 block is how much? 1 unit square. So the volume of 2 is going to be 2 unit cube, not square. Okay, volume always cubic, so it is 2 unit cube, correct? Now what is the surface area? Well, earlier we had 6 surfaces, but what we did was, if I put them side by side, just touching, then then these two surfaces are kind of inside, so they are not exposed. So therefore, we are not going to count those surfaces. So we are left with 1, 2, 3, 4 in the bottom, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 surfaces. So the surface area is 10 unit square. You get the idea, right? So if I put them side by side, or even one top of the other, let us say like this, right? So if I put them kind of like this also, let us say, let me press it down, right? So let me press it down, then place it. Okay, let us say like this, right? In that case also, you'll find that the volume here is how much? Is 2 unit cube. However, the surface area is not 6 times 2, because two of these surfaces join together, and the area for surface area is 10 units square. I hope you appreciate that point, correct? Now the question for you is that if I have the third block, and if I keep it on the side like this, in that case, can you tell me what is the volume now? And what is the surface area at this position? So every time I add a block, the surface area increases by not 6 but by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 in the bottom. So 5, right? So every new block like this, surface area increases by 5, correct? But the volume triples. Do you see that? And what happens if I change this position to the topmost position? If I press it and keep it right on the top, then in this position, can you tell me what is the volume and surface area now of this set of blocks, which is one over the other, right? So that is your second question, which I'm not going to answer. So your question number 2 here is find volume and surface area of this block shown here, where we have 3 blocks, one over the other, right? So answer this particular question and then move on to the next video. I hope that helps. Thank you and all the best.